Welcome back. In this video, we are going to solve another one of the important programming challenges of Unix, and the name of that programming challenges will be lonely integer bash. And now in this programming challenges, there are an integers in an array, and you have to figure it out the unique value, or you can say that that value which has repeated only once. For example, let's say I have mentioned 1. Okay, now I have mentioned 1, so the value I can print only one time. So one time I have printed. Now the value one time have printed, so output will be something like this, output equal to 1. Now let's say the number of array size I will take as 3. So if the array size I have taken as 3, then I can write 3 values I have to write. Okay, 1, 1, 1, 2, and the output that I have to write only that value which has occurred only once. So now output will be equal to 2. Let's take one more example, and in this one, let's say I wanted to take 5 array size, and the 5 values will be 0, 0, 1, 2, and 1. So now you can see that here only one value that came once, that is 2. So output will be 2. Okay, and the constraint of this problem will be 100. So this will be the number of array size you can give. See, for example, I gave one value only. So if I will give 3 to 3 and 3 values I have written here, so 5. So that will be between 1 to 100. Okay, you need to remember one more important thing, that n will always be an odd number. Okay, and the values which are written in this array, it will be between 0. Now we understood what is the problem. Let's repeat one more time. We will get two input. One is the number of array that we wanted to print, and after that number of arrays that we are going to print. For example, if I have taken 1, so only one value I can print. So first value, if I have taken as a 3, only 3 value it will get as an input as an array size, and if I have written 5, then 5 array values we will get print, and we have to display that value which have occurred only once. And one more thing, that n number, that total number of arrays size will be always an odd number. Okay, to solve this problem, first of all we need to understand XOR, because through the XOR only we are going to solve this problem. So in this problem statement, what I am going to use, I am going to use XOR logical operation. Through that I am going to solve this problem. Now what XOR does, if one condition is true and another condition is false, then it will return true. If both are equal, then it will return as false. For example, let's say here I've taken one value as an A, another one is B, and A comes true and B comes false, then it will A XOR B will be true. And if it is false, and if it is this one is true, then also it will true. But if A and B both are true, then A XOR B will be false, and if both are false, then A XOR B will be false. Got it? Now let's represent the same thing in a binary representation. In binary representation we can write like this, A B A XOR B. Here 0 0. So 0 0 always represents so 0 0 A XOR B will be 0, and if this one is 0 and this one is 1, then A XOR B will be 1, and if this one is 1 and this one is 0, then this one also it will be A XOR B is 1, and if both are 1, and then this one will be 0. So this is the way how XOR represents. Okay, now we will see how this XOR will help us to solve our problem. Let's take our first input. Our first input is 1, so only one values I have to return here, one array value. So one array value I have to return. So the first value that I have wanted to calculate, let's take a one default value. Default value I will take as I am going to take as 0. Okay, now what about 0 XOR 1? So we already saw the binary representation. If 0 1, it will be 1. So assume this is also, this will be our output. Okay, and this is also the answer of our logical operation of lonely integer bash, if you remember this problem. Okay, now let's see the another problem. In another problem, input I have given as 3, and the values that entered in three arrays will be 1 1 2. Okay, and one default value I have taken, the first value is 0. Okay, now let's write like this: 1 1 2. Now 0 XOR 1, answer will be 1. Okay, now whatever the answer comes here, this one is going to mark with I will XOR with this one. So 1 XOR 1 will be 1 XOR 1 will be 0 again. Now this one again, the result again I am trying to XOR with this number. So 0 XOR 2 we need to calculate. Let's change the 2 into binary representation. How I am going to do that? Here I will write 2, and here I am going to divide with 2. So 2 1 is 2, and it will answer will be 0. So here 1, it will be written like this: 1 0, and this 0 it is there, and so I will add one more 0, add here. Okay, now let's see the answer of this. 0 0 will be 0, and 0 1 will be 1. Now 1 0 I got 0 XOR 2. Now what if 1 and 0 I have to represent it into the decimal back again? So what I'm going to do 1 plus 0. So what I'm going to do, so 0 into 2 to the power 0, and 1 into 2 to the power 1. So 0 2 to the power 0 will be 0, and 1 into 2 to the power will be 2. So 2 will be our output. Okay, so we saw this output. Now let's see the third one. In the third problem, we have taken input equal to 5. So we have taken input equal to 5. Now those 5 values are 0 0 1 2 1. Okay, and the default value will be 0. So let's give them some space between those values. It will be easy to calculate. 1 2 1. Now first thing first, 0 XOR 0 will always be 0. So 0 XOR 0 will be 0. Okay, now the output that we got will 0 XOR 1. 0 XOR 1 will be 1, and 1 XOR 2. Now we have to calculate. So let's do our rough here. Here 2 is there. 2 we know, we can write like this: 1 0, and here 1 is there, and 0 it is here. Correct. Now let's calculate again. 1 0 will be 1, 0 1 will be 1. This is our answer. We got 1 1 from 1 XOR 2. Now let's get back into from binary to again back to decimal. So how are we going to do that? 1 plus 1 1 2 into 2, and here is 0 1. Now 1 into 2 to the power 0, I think it will be 1 only, and 2 2. So answer it came like this, I think 3. Okay, now 3 XOR 1. I'm going to write let's say 3 and 3. let's change it to 2 and here and 2 and the quotient will come as 1. So 1 I think, yeah, 1 is the binary representation of 3. So 1 is the binary representation of 3, and here it was 1, so here I will add a 0. Now 1 is 0 and 0 is 1, 1 0, and we already know what is the binary representation of 1 0. Binary representation of 1 0 is 2, so our output will be 2. So you can see that by using XOR we can get our answer. All the 3 examples that we did, we just calculated with the starting value with the 0, and after that 1 by 1 calculation we did with the result, and through that we got our output. Now exactly we will do the same thing with our code. So how we are going to do that? So on previous 3 examples, we understood that through the help of a XOR logical operation, we can solve this lonely integer bash problem. Now let's write a shell script. So we know that first of all we have to read the value. So the first thing that we are going to write is accept the read and the length. Next argument will be all the values in a space separated values. For example, the 5 last example that is 0 0 1 2 1. We will get values like that. So what I will do, we want this value stored in an array format. So the best way to do that is here $cat, and here I can give the file name, but we were going to execute this in this one is Hackerrank. Store it here array. We don't need the file name. Cat file name, it should be there, but we don't need right now because it is in Hackerrank domain. We are going to execute automatically, it will accept the value. Okay, now next we need one default value, so we will mark it this one as default equal to 0. Default equal to 0. Now let's iterate the value in for loop. For I in $ARR at for I in $ARR at I. We have already talking about this type of arrays syntax in arrays bash. Video link I will give in the description section. If you didn't know, please go ahead and watch the video and come back later so that you will understood the meaning of this syntax. Okay, do, and inside do what I will do, default equal to $default, the first one it will be 0, and default XOR I, and the output when it will execute, it will store it into that, and again it will match with the next default value, that answer it got stored it here. Okay, now let's close it, one done, and the final default value will be our answer. So I'm going to write something like this: echo $default. I have write, yeah, and this one will be our answer. So this is the way how we are going to use XOR operation in our code. Now let's see the code that I have written and the examples that we practiced in this video is the correct one or not. So what we will do, we will go to our Hackerrank console. So we came to our Hackerrank console. We can see that here all those things constraint what I have told you, everything is same, and all the 3 sample input that I have practiced in the practiced there, it is the same only. I took it from here. Okay, now let's solve this problem. Let me run the code. Okay, fine. Now all the 3 test cases got successful. Now what I will do, I will submit the code here, and we can see that all the test cases got successful, and the code that we have written here, it is correct. The problem that we see all that lonely integer bash, we have solved this problem. So this is the end of the video. In the next video, again we are going to talk about some important concept of Unix. So if you like this channel, please like and subscribe and press the bell icon for the regularly updates, and stay tuned and keep watching ADHYAN channel for the next upcoming video. Thank you.